Hey everyone, and welcome to a late night Week 11 review, Week 12 preview. I'm going solo on you again tonight, and the second time this season, I am your commissioner. I am your 4 in a row champion. I am Mr. Modest and also the commissioner. So, just a little bit of background here. Joel was unable to make it tonight because it is a 1 a.m. Cody and I went to the Steelers-Ravens game tonight, and Cody also had to get home. Understandably, we live literally on opposite ends of the county. He was good enough to drive me around, and clearly I am not in my right state, but I'm going to give you guys everything I have. And with that being said, let's get right into week 11. I have my hand warmer here just in case. The first matchup is Mr. Modest versus Joel, and it is a bummer that Joel could not make it tonight because I wanted him to tell you guys exactly why he was unable to respond to me, respond to himself, and really lose Saturday. And honestly, might have been the difference maker. I'm not sure. I didn't go through and add it. I'm literally just looking at scores right now. But I do want to say that Joel apologized to me today, and he also took responsibility. He said that it wasn't my fault for what I did. I was just following the rules. So everything that I did, I felt I would do the same for any team that was playing me. There are things that Joel could have done if he had checked it before he left. But I know that he was up in the mountains with his dog this week, and I'm not making excuses for him. I appreciate the win. Do not get me wrong. Sweeping Joel Gibson is, mwah, you know what I'm saying? But I did appreciate the text exchange that we had today, him saying that he understood. It was nice, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot of shit on him. Man, I was really injured this week. I had to activate my long-term rookie, who hasn't necessarily been doing great. But like I said, when you lose a Saturday, especially as a Saturday that I had 6-0, put you in quite the hole, and I was happy to take this win. Moving myself to 10-0, and I looked it up. It is 6 seasons in a row with 10 wins. I am him. That's why they give me this. I didn't ask for this. You all gave this to me, and I hope you give it to me for one more season. Next matchup is Doug versus Neiman. Doug had this in hand quite a bit. I think Wemby even sat as well. And we kind of called this one against Neiman. I had Neiman at 8, Doug at 3. And like I said, Doug got it done. He had a traumatic week this week. I am so thankful that he was not injured during that electrical fire. That's scary shit. Like, even seeing it, it doesn't matter. So I just want to say I'm thankful that Doug made it out of that. He also made it out of this matchup, no problem. Next matchup is Kyle versus Adam. Kyle gave him a little bit of run, or Adam gave Kyle a little bit of run for his money here this week. And we saw Adam on the wire as well, which I love to see. This is one of those matchups that, it was close, but you kind of always thought Kyle had it. But Adam made it close, and I appreciate that. Next matchup is CJ beating Steven. We all thought this was going to happen, even with CJ and his $1 free agency money. Steven's just too beat up, and, I kind of think Steven's kind of clocked out for this season again. Hopefully next year we see a little bit more from him, but, Cody's happy with the pick. Next matchup is Jake versus Matt. Jake sitting players this week. I don't really know what to say about this strategy unless he is just trying to get the number 2 pick. Like his team is not as good that he could win the number 1 pick, but he could win the number 2 pick if he is as bad and gives Matt this win. I don't hate the idea. I just, you know, Jake's got to get rolling a little bit. It's been a couple years in the league. He does have 5 wins in the league now. So let's try to see a little bit more out of that. Matt gets his 3rd win. I don't think it's going to matter because as we move on to this last matchup, Cody takes the loss, moves to 2-9 versus Eric 6-5, who has risen above Eric baby this week. Shout out to Eric. I love that for you. I love that for your family. I love that just for your son in general. It's so hard to explain, being a father to a son. And now that you are, I think you're going to understand at least where I come from when I talk about Ollie, where Kyle comes from when he talks about his son. And I'm just so happy for you, bro. Honestly, I'm so happy. You get this win against Cody and you move above 500, even though you weren't paying attention. You had the decency to say, I'm going to be MIA the next couple days. I appreciated that. That was very nice. Your son's beautiful, and I love you. Congrats to Eric. Now, as I say that, we move into week 12. There are some very interesting matchups in week 12. The first one, Matt versus Modest, is not an interesting matchup. Matt, number 9, 3-8. Modest, 10-1. He needs to win 2 more of these last 5, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, he needs to win 2 more of these last 5 matchups to guarantee that second place, even though I'm without Reeves, even though I'm without Hartenstein, even though I'm without Duran, even though I'm without the number 1 fantasy player in the league. I get it done this week against Matt. I will cycle if I need to. Matt's out of the playoffs anyway. Like, theoretically, I guess he could make it in, but he needs kind of a miracle at this point. This week isn't it. Modest wins. Next matchup is my most intriguing matchup. We've got number 5, Joel Gibson at 7-4 versus Kyle 11-0. Now, Joel has never had an undefeated season. Kyle is on the cusp of an undefeated season. He's got me coming up, but I'm very injured right now. I think that if there's any team that's going to do it, I think that we're going to see Joel do it. I don't know what he's going to do as far as assets. He made some mistakes last week, obviously, but Kyle, as far as his line that he put up this week, I think that Joel has a chance here. I'm going to take Kyle at home just because I'm not sure who gets that triple-double on Joel's team. But I am rooting for Joel at 7-4 only because I have the only undefeated season. And Kyle is getting very close. And I'm not sure that I have the firepower next week to be able to do it. So I'm picking Kyle, but I'm rooting for Joel. Next matchup is Eric, baby daddy energy, at 6-5. He's the number 6 team versus the number 3 team, Doug, 8-3. I think that Doug right now, and especially with the newborn baby, I'm not sure how much Eric is going to pay attention. He knows he's in the playoffs anyway. But Doug getting this win right here, almost guarantees him a 10-win season. Almost, we don't know. But it definitely locks himself into that top 3 atmosphere. So I'm going to pick Doug. Next matchup is Neiman versus Steven. I think Neiman wins here, even though he's super injured. Steven is also super injured. Steven doesn't have a lot to play for, and honestly, I'm not sure Steven is paying attention. Neiman at the number 8 seed is literally trying to get away from either me or Kyle. So a lot for him to play for here. Not a lot for Steven to play for. So I'm going to pick Neiman. Next matchup is CJ. CJ, I have at number 4 here. And the reason why is Joel and CJ are 7 and 4. Joel plays Kyle, and CJ plays Cody. Cody hasn't been playing anybody. So I think CJ easily picks up the win here, where I think Joel might have a little bit more problem with Kyle. So like I said, I think CJ. Also, you know, this week will probably clinch CJ a playoff spot. I could probably say it now, but like theoretically, I mean, if everybody loses, that he needs to lose, I guess. But Matt would have to come up into a playoff picture, and I think CJ has beat Matt already with the tiebreaker. So it's just one of those things. Last matchup is Adam versus Jake. Adam's playing Jake at the right time right now. Adam needs a win to go back to 500. Moving down to 5 and 6 is a rough go. I do have Adam at the 7 spot. Only because he has the tiebreaker with Neiman. So Neiman I have at the 8 playing Steven. I think Neiman's going to run over him. Adam at the 7 I have playing Jake, who is obviously going to run over him. And Adam has that tiebreaker. So this week was pretty easy. I just want to remind everybody that the trade deadline, and I apologize that I have not changed it on Fantrax if it's not correct right now, but it's going to be January 20, January 20. It's a Tuesday. It is from this Tuesday, will be 2 weeks away. Not a lot of trades going on at all this season, quite frankly, but I'm interested to see which team's going to try to make that big step up. If anybody has any questions, let me know. But like I said, trade deadline, even if I don't update Fantrax, all y'all should be paying attention to these videos. And it is going to be January 20th. With that being said, if anybody has any questions or anything like that, please let me know. Other than that, I will see you guys all in a week. And I love each and every one of you. And just kiss the trophy. Oh, I'm the only one to kiss the trophy. Love you, fellas.